Another week, another loss. The Vols fall 34-13 in Knoxville this afternoon. That's not news. That's becoming pretty normal. But welcome to the 120th episode of Talkin Vols. My name is Boogie Bentley.
I'm Vols JP.
And I'm Dauber. What's happening?
We're going to get into it. Obviously, there is some big-time news that dropped. Interesting timing, but we'll get into it. Big-time news. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about Jeremy Pruitt, the future of this football team. What's it going to look like? Is this team going bowling? I don't know. We got a lot to unpack, a lot to get into, but we are glad that you're here. We got 90-some hanging out already. We just went live, and we've got 52 thumbs up. Take a gamble on Talkin Vols. Take a gamble on Dauber, JP, and myself. Hit that thumbs up. Just you're gambling that you think this show is going to be good. Go ahead and do it right now. We would greatly appreciate it. We're going to run down the chat. We're going to see who's hanging out. Tim Bradley, about 25 minutes ago, dropped a super chat before we even showed up. Thank you for the super chat, Tim. We appreciate it. It says, and all the sunshine pumpers spout off about heart and moral victories. Tennessee lost because Tennessee sucks. Thank you for this show. I don't know how you guys keep doing it. Honestly, you guys are the only thing that keeps me going because I get pretty depressed. Hopkins lacrosse fan was here bright and early saying if they would just put Vols JP in at fullback to protect the quarterback, we could win this game. St. Louis was hanging out. A lot of people hanging out in the chat as usual as the game is going on, which is a lot of fun. Scenic, notice that I've already changed the thumbnail. Hey, it's the reality. Pull the trigger. Get rid of him. Send him packing today for all I care. It's over. IC86 is here agreeing it's time to fire Pruitt. Who else we got hanging out? There's a lot of people here. We are glad that you guys are here. We got a lot to discuss, a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about the game and then get into the news that dropped. John Robert Tolkerteen with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, John Robert. We appreciate it. Do you think the investigation is an attempt to get around Pruitt's contract? It's very, very, very interesting timing for anybody that's wondering what's going on. Should we just start there? I mean,
let's hit it running.
It's the post-game show. I kind of want to talk about the Texas A&M game, but look, it is what it is. Anybody wondering what is going on, I'm going to go ahead and share the this is from sportsillustrated.com. So Sports Illustrated has already picked this up. Everybody is running with it for the national, the national news is running with it, but they're all citing the original source. So take it for what it's worth, but the timing is definitely interesting. Anybody wondering what's going on? Just in Tennessee football, under investigation from compliance and the NCAA. Look, right before the game today, it starts coming out. We're hearing that Jay Graham's not going to be on the sidelines. Derek Ansley's not going to be on the sidelines. Brian Maurer is out. Eric Gray is out, and it's very mysterious. Is it grades? Is it COVID? What's going on here? We don't really know. And then this article drops conveniently right after kickoff. The article comes out, but Tennessee is facing an investigation from the NCAA and university compliance. A source indicated to VR2 on SI earlier today that Tennessee was being looked at for violations related to impermissible benefits for current student athletes. Let's just start right there. If you're cheating and you're winning, I can kind of validate it. I'm not saying it's right, but if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. But if you have 3 wins and the fan base is calling for your head and you're getting hit with this, JP, to cite, this is coming from Trey Wallace, so take it for what it's worth. More information to come. JP, what are your thoughts on this dropping right at kick?
I mean, personally, I think that it's probably an inside job. I mean, I definitely think that this is an attempt to keep from having to pay Pruitt this buyout. I do. I mean, I don't understand why that this would just drop now, right after kickoff with this game. I mean, that's what I think. But, the fact that they're saying, and again, I mean, this is all, looks like Trey Wallace is the only one. I think Sports Illustrated might be running with it now. But the fact that he dropped Brian Maurer's name, are you kidding me? Tennessee paid Brian Maurer, 4th-string quarterback, head case? I mean, good gosh, if that's not incompetence, I don't know what is. I mean, how in the world? I mean, the guy was a 3-star recruit. So if this comes out true, I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is like soap opera. I don't think that this could be could be scripted in Hollywood. I really don't. And at some point in time, ESPN needs to come out with a 30 for 30.
Yep.
The Fall of Big Orange Nation. And I'm telling you what, it would probably be the most watched TV show in history of cable television. The incompetence of this administration.
If this team ever gets back to being successful, if this program ever returns, that's going to happen. But the story's not as good unless they return. Anybody coming in? We got 212 people watching right now. If you're wondering what's going on, this is the Texas A&M postgame show. What are you guys talking about? Well, the news dropped during the game. Tennessee is under investigation from compliance within their athletic department as well as the NCAA. We are going to get into the Texas A&M game. We got a lot to talk about. We got to talk about the future of Jeremy Pruitt, the timing of this whole situation. But we would ask that you hit that thumbs up. We got 89 thumbs up right now. Keep smashing that thumbs up. Let's drive this thing out. Let's get a bunch of all fans in here. I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what you think we should do with Jeremy Pruitt. Is he the guy? I want to hear from you. Lynn Kindred with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Lynn, for the support. I think the commentary was worse than us. Lost count on how many times he called Palmer Josh Chandler. Yeah, it was pretty bad. What do you expect? It's a new kick. It's a game that – look, they spent the whole first 15 minutes of the game talking about Texas A&M and the playoff. Nobody thought Tennessee had a chance in this game, even when it was close. I wasn't buying in. Were you? Dauber, at any point during this game, did you ever get excited or think this football team had a chance?
No. I had my score Wednesday night 35-13. So,
you're pretty close, Dauber.
Pretty dead on.
Wait, is that a humble brag? Is that a humble brag, Dauber? Gator Nation, 7712, $5 super chat. Thanks so much for the support, even from an ugly old Gator fan. But big Gator fan here, but love what you guys do in the show. Watch every episode. Keep up the great work. That's cool, man. Thanks for joining us. It's always fun when respectable, nice fans from other teams show up each week. Tennessee Sports Network, $2 super chat. This is an embarrassment. It's all an embarrassment. This entire season has been an embarrassment. But I do want to continue to talk about this article. Again, Tennessee football under investigation from their internal athletic department as well as the NCAA. As JP said, they mentioned Brian Maurer. They also mentioned inside linebackers coach Brian Niedermeyer, multiple Tennessee assistant coaches. Could that be Jay Graham, do you think? Could that be who else? Ansley? Is that what that is? You know, I know they're citing COVID.
Didn't play today.
Very interesting. Because isn't Niedermeyer, didn't he recruit Eric Gray? No. It says right here, landing Henry T, Kavaris Crouch, and Darnell Wright, among others. So what does this mean in the long run? The report included a statement from the University of Tennessee saying, in keeping with our institutional commitment to compliance, we often look closely at regulatory issues that are brought to our attention via internal or external channels. Should we underline internal there, JP? Maintaining compliance is a shared responsibility, and active monitoring is part of the process. So that's the article that dropped during the game. Again, it's going to be interesting to see how this whole thing plays out. The timing of it, as JP mentioned, the timing is this an out? Is this their way to move on from Jeremy Pruitt? Because as much as we think, most people seem to want to move on from Jeremy Pruitt. Most people would be happy if they fired Jeremy Pruitt tonight. But there are still some sunshine pumpers out there. There are still people saying this man needs more time. Is this a way to validate that fire, Dauber, do you think?
Yeah, I tend to think it is. You're looking to save a little bit of money, drop a little of that buyout, maybe negate the entire buyout if there has been anything going on illicit and under the table, and Pruitt was a party to it. I'm going to go out right here, coming in hot with this take. If you are a fan of this team and you can accept 3 wins and 7 losses, if you can accept allegations of cheating and impropriety, not that programs everywhere don't bend the rules, and football has always been $100 handshakes and all these things from boosters, because that's a whole nother story about these kids and them not being able to have jobs and other things within the season. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just the way a program's ran. I think that we don't want to be like Florida State, like free shoes university. We don't want to be known as a program that is how they rise to success and have success on the field. But if you're happy with 3 wins, man, find another team. That's all I'm going to say.
That's what I don't understand. I don't understand the people that continue to say that Jeremy Pruitt needs more time. And we're going to get into that. Like I said, this may be a long show. We may be here all night. And you guys are showing up and showing out with the Super Chats. 275 people here. Do continue to smash that thumbs up. We would appreciate it. But if you guys keep this conversation rolling, Dauber and JP don't know it yet. We may stay live for 2 or 3 hours. I don't know how this thing's going to play out. Let me hit these Super Chats. I want to continue on that thread that Dauber has going there. But Tiffany Fannin for $4.99. Thank you so much for the support. Tiffany says, this is dumb. It's like cheating on a test from the worst student. Yeah, if you're going to cheat from the kid that makes A's. Like, you're cheating and winning 3 games. Like, this is the worst case scenario. And yes, this is all allegedly. We got to let this play out and see where it goes. But if you are cheating and winning 3 games, you got big problems, big problems. Cody Branch with a $5 super chat says, hey guys, we need another coach, not a coordinator learning to be a coach. We need a coach like Hugh Freeze. We're going to continue with that Hugh Freeze comment right there here in just a minute, but thanks for the support, Cody. Todd Mills.
For some reason, my hands are awful cold.
I heard it's supposed to snow. It's snowing in Knoxville and heading this way. Todd Mills with a $5 super chat says, we are a basketball school and a damn good one at that.
That's right,
yes,
Todd.
Yes, we are. And I want to encourage you guys, make sure you tune in. What is it, Monday night? You guys are going live?
Monday night after the game.
Monday night. Make sure
after the St. Joseph game.
Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Dauber and JP are going to continue with basketball coverage. If this 3-win football team for some reason gets a bowl game, guess who's going to be covering it? That's going to be Talkin VAWLS. So make sure you are subscribed and tune in for the coverage of that. Rocky Top 423 $1.99 super chat says, Pruitt ain't the man. Why waste another year? I agree. I'm ready to move on. Lynn Kindred for $4.99. Beckwith only had 1 carry given the ball. He has that look almost like an Alabama back. I know he will be an amazing player. Stick around. We are, I promise you, we are going to get into this Texas A&M game. We're going to talk about it. We're going to break it down. I got a lot of problems with the running game tonight, but I want to go back to what Dauber was talking about, kind of that train of thought, and also Cody Branch talking about Hugh Freeze. Can you use this article, this news that breaks, that Tennessee is in trouble with the NCAA? Can you use this with cause to fire Jeremy Pruitt and get out of your buyout, and then turn around and hire a guy like Hugh Freeze that has so much drama surrounding his name? JP, can you do that as an athletic director, as an athletic department? Can you make that move?
I mean, that's what I'm concerned about, because I think everybody knows that I've been on the Freeze bandwagon. So that is concerning to me. Based on how Tennessee's operated in the past, I think that it would be probably hard for them to do it. Although that, I think that Freeze was pretty much cleared by the NCAA. I think most of the violations that came down at Ole Miss resulted in Houston up, but I know that he did get some things about some of the recruiting things that basically that he was responsible for monitoring there. So with this news coming down, I would be really shocked now if they do end up moving on from Pruitt. And I'll just say it right now. I don't think Jeremy Pruitt is the coach next year. Unfortunately, I think that Tennessee fans will probably have to Google the next head coach's name again, because, again, I just have zero confidence in this administration being able to do it. And I mean, just you know, and and I don't know. I mean, it's just a lot of things out there. I mean, you look at Auburn right now and the struggles that it appears that they're having trying to hire a head coach. I mean, with the fact that they're claiming that Kevin Steele may be the front runner for that job. I mean, I know before Steele's name was mentioned before Pruitt was hired 3 years ago, and I know myself and a lot of this fan base was like, heck no with that. So it's just very, very, again, it's just hard to say with that. If I was Tennessee, there's no doubt in my mind that I would be making a call. Well, I'd already made it to Lynchburg, Virginia, and I would have Hugh Freeze as the head coach. I don't care what kind of issues that this might be or anything like that. I don't think that happens, though. Unfortunately, I don't think that this administration does it.
I was explaining the whole situation to my wife, and I was like, you know what? If this had been in the late 90s, early 2000s, I'd be like, you can't hire a guy like Hugh Freeze. I mean, we're all, more. I got morals. I just want to win. I don't care who they hire. I don't care what they do. Just win, baby. Gator Nation 7712 comes back with another $5 super chat. Thanks for the support. We appreciate it. It says, first I've heard of this. What's the investigation about? Yeah, the news just broke right after kickoff, like conveniently right after kickoff. And Tennessee is in trouble. It's internal, but it's also, bleeding out to the NCAA now. It's saying violations are said to involve players recruited by Tennessee as well as players currently on the roster. Meanwhile, Brian Maurer and Eric Gray are asked to sit out today. So we'll see how it all plays out. Pecan for $2 says if it's not criminal, I doubt it.
Hey, I saw Jamie Chadwell as a name thrown out there earlier in the chat. He's got a pass too. He's got allegations and NCAA investigation from his time at Charleston Southern. So, I mean, that's the thing. You look at coaches, and a coach is going to bring baggage from past stints wherever, if the NCAA got to them or not. From fans that are bitter, from fans that didn't like the coach. It's you can't please everybody with a pick, and ultimately at the end of the day, it's all a gamble. You look at Michigan bringing in Harbaugh.
Yeah,
that's a big name, a big hire, and they've not had success.
And I've said that about Freeze a lot. Even Hugh Freeze to me is a gamble. And I know JP said Wednesday night.
It is.
If he said if Hugh Freeze comes in, he's winning the SEC East within 2 years.
No. I never said he's winning. I said
you may have said immediately. You may have said immediately.
I said he would be competing. I guarantee you that he wouldn't be losing by 20 plus points every single SEC game against anybody that has a pulse in this program or in this conference. I mean, another 20 plus point loss today. Another 20 plus point loss. They dominated this darn football team today. Our defense had no answer for them whatsoever.
Keep going. Don't cut it short.
I'm just tired of losing. I mean, I'm tired of losing. I'm tired of it. I didn't grow up losing. I didn't grow up watching this football team lose.
Yep.
Tired of it.
It's frustrating. And that, I put out our plugs right before we went live in a bunch of Facebook groups, and somebody's making fun of it saying, call in and complain now. And I just commented back and said, I'm sorry that you're okay with losing. I'm not okay being a Tennessee fan and losing. That's not what this program's about. And I took a lot of heat for misquoting South Carolina when I said East, and I was talking about them not winning an SEC championship. Get out of here. In the words of JP, get out of here, man. Don't compare South Carolina's tradition to Tennessee. Like, what are you kidding me? Give me a break. Cody Branch for $2 says, guys, we don't need to get anyone. Promote Chaney. I don't know that's a good idea. I don't know that that's a good idea.
I don't think Chaney wants to be a head coach.
No, he doesn't. He's already said that he would never take an interim job because his winning percentage is 1,000%.
I would do the same. I like to win, so
course.
just leave it there. 1-0.
I guess if somebody offers you ridiculous money, you might change your mind though. But I don't see Jim Chaney being the next head coach for sure. I'm telling you guys, it'll end up being that we have no idea who this next head coach is if they end up firing him this year.
Let me go on record and say this: if that's the case, if we got to Google the next coach, we might as well keep Jeremy Pruitt. We might as well keep Jeremy Pruitt.
Might as well.
Walter Miller, $5 super chat. Johnny Major's demise began with SEC violations. Thanks for the super chat, Walter. We appreciate it. I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, let me just do this. Tennessee Sports Network.
Go ahead. Sorry.
$5 super chat. Yeah, and when they did lose, it was by a late field goal or TD. Yeah. All 7 losses by double digits. All 7, 3-7. All 7 losses by double digits. Go ahead, JP. You were, I could tell you were fired up.
Well, I mean, it's like Fred H is saying right there. I don't know if you can put him on the screen. I mean, that's what is so frustrating about this is it's so weird. And I said it in the chat right before that we went live. I feel like even though that we're losing these games by double-digit points, we're not that far off. I mean, if there was a quarterback on this roster that had been developed, Tennessee could have beaten Texas A&M today. I mean, I'm not convinced that Texas A&M is some world beater program. I'm not convinced that, and there's a good possibility that they'll end up playing in the college football playoffs. That's what I'm saying. It is not as bad. This roster is not as bad as it appears to be that the coaching is showing it. This coaching staff has no clue. They have no clue whatsoever. The way that they have destroyed that quarterback room and absolutely handled the quarterback situation since Jeremy Pruitt has been hired down there is absolutely criminal. It is criminal. I'm telling you, is Stroud like the next Joe Montana or Steve Young? Probably not. He's probably not. But the guy has talent. He just needs to be coached up. And all they do is just continue just rotating back and forth, and then never giving any of the guys an opportunity. The first half of the season while Garantano kept throwing pick sixes. I mean, it is just unbelievable the way that they have handled this. It's unbelievable. And regardless of who that we want to blame, Jeremy Pruitt is the head football coach, and he's ultimately the one that is responsible for it.
Yeah, and that's another point. You look at get into the Texas A&M game here. Look at all the mistakes, the lack of discipline, and that's a reflection right back to the head coach. The stupid penalties. These are things that we talked about last year that this team could ill afford, that this team had to get out of the way of themselves to compete against the upper part of the conference. And they keep doing that, and they keep making these same mistakes, keep having, penalties on the offensive line, on the defensive line. It's just, it's poor coaching. I said to you guys during the game, Bailey's getting a lot of criticism about holding on to the ball. He's making his 3rd start. He's a true freshman.
Yep.
That has had little development, little coaching. I imagine if he or Stroud, either one, or even go to look at JG. Look at how he's been dealt with. He's got talent. We've seen flashes of talent from him. He's had to deal with multiple coordinators. He's had to deal with, lack of coaching, lack of development. It's just like JP just said. It's criminal the way that the quarterback room has been dealt with this year. The way that position group has been handled, I think ultimately is going to be the downfall of Jeremy Pruitt.
And what would you think? What would you say that the one thing that Harrison Bailey does wrong? He holds on to the football too long. What is that a sign
Way
of?
too long.
He looks like a guy that is scared to make a mistake. He looks gun shy. And that's the same way that Jarrett Garantano plays. Like there was a cover photo that I posted one week where everybody's seen it. Harrison Bailey spinning the ball on his finger, and then the other one's Garantano throwing. And Jarrett Garantano in game action looks terrified. He looks so scared to make a mistake. And I think that's the problem with the way that Jeremy Pruitt has handled the quarterback room. He's knee-jerk reactions, benching guys, taking guys, moving them around. I think these quarterbacks are terrified of making a mistake outside of maybe JT Shroud. That kid, no S's given. That kid just throws the ball wherever he wants to throw it. He does not care. We need Harrison Bailey's mind, for the most part, with JT Shroud's arm. But Dayon Cubers, let me hit this super chat. Thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. UT is where coaches go to die. Due to the fans and the schedule, there's no way we'll get a good head coach. Just another no-name coordinator. You don't think that Alabama's fan base would be just as pissed off as us, or Florida's fan base, or Georgia's fan base? I think it's the SEC. Welcome to the SEC. This is where you put up or shut up.
Didn't Florida hire or fire what was his name, McElwain, after three years? I think that's the difference. That's the difference in it. And I've said it on here before. Alabama went through 8 head coaches between Bear Bryant and Nick Saban in a 25-year span. Yes. It is a crapshoot as far as who as your head coach is going to be and whether or not that they're going to be successful or not. But I would just like somebody just to say what kind of positives that they are seeing from Jeremy Pruitt.
Well, let me tell you right now, Jay,
support him coming back.
You're not going to get that answer because there are people in the comment section of the Talkin VAWLS network every single week talking about how negative we are, and we are the 3 most negative people in the Tennessee fan base, and all we do is blast Jeremy Pruitt and talk bad, and I try to have civil conversations with these people, and I say, the Indy kid did it just a couple of weeks ago on the day after. He said, give me a reason why Jeremy Pruitt deserves more time. Nobody can give you a reason. He needs more time. Well, why? He needs more time. You can't keep firing. Well, tell me why. What has he done that would make you think that he's the guy? Well, he just needs more time.
Here's the thing. Kiffin left us in the middle of the night. Dooley came in. Butch came in. And now we got Pruitt. You know what they're not doing? They're not beating the top. They're not beating the 3 teams that are at the top right now.
0-9.
I said it earlier. If you're fine with that, find another team.
Go pull for Vanderbilt.
I'm as a Tennessee Vol, as an alum, I'm not going to accept that. I'm not going to accept mediocrity. I'm not going to accept a football team that has a loser's mentality. And they just go out there to play the game, not to compete and win the game.
I don't think that any Tennessee fan should accept that. And if you are seeing progress, look, go back to last year. All 3 of us were like, okay, you can look at the Georgia State and the BYU losses. Those are concerning, but you put together a winning streak. You go into 2020, and it's like, let's see what Jeremy Pruitt can do. And that's all you can do is base your opinion on what you see on the football field. And what he is doing right now does not give me any indication that he is the guy that is going to bring Tennessee back to where they should be. There's a lot of super chats coming in, a lot of stuff coming in. I'm sorry it is breaking up the show, but I want to make sure to highlight you guys because we appreciate the support. Cody Branch has become a new member of the channel. We appreciate that, Cody. Anybody wondering what is a member, I'm going to go play in the chat right now. We have custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, and for just 99 cents a month, you get access to those. You can put myself or Dauber's glorious beard or, JP with a bag over his head. You can post Phil Fulmer with high blood pressure. You can see it. His face is blood red, or you can post the Harrison Bailey emoji. All kinds of fun stuff. You can also use it in the comment section, but thank you, Cody, for joining the channel. Pecan with a $2 super chat. Philip Fulmer is the athletic director. Is he not responsible? He is if he doesn't make a move. This is his hire, so ultimately he is responsible, but he's not the one that's making the calls on the field. You're right. He is responsible. I'm not even going to try to spin it or validate it. You're right, Pecan. Philip Fulmer is 100% responsible, and I think he is proven to be too loyal to Jeremy Pruitt, and it may be his demise. We'll see how that plays out. Rocky Top 423 with $1.99 says, we bargain shop for coaches and then pay them to go. Yeah, and we pay them up until the last possible minute, and then we let them go get a job at Arkansas State. Walter Miller for $5 says, they are sheep, Boogie. Look, I've been accused of being a sunshine pumper, so, I kind of get it, but at the same time, enough is enough, man. In the words of Owen Hart, enough is enough, and it's time for a change. Nicole with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Nicole, for that. Thoughts on Malzahn to Tennessee? Love the show. That's the last super chat. We'll go on this, but I do want to say we have 400 people watching live. Yeah. Thank you guys for being here. I know you're all frustrated as much as we are. Do me a favor. We have 161 thumbs up. Do I need to go into this long laid out lecture about how when you guys hit thumbs up, it puts me in a good mood? Look, I'm on vacation. I don't have to work, but my poor wife has to deal with me when I come upstairs and I don't get enough thumbs up, and she's going to be mad. She says, make sure you get those likes, and she's going to be so frustrated and so upset if you guys don't hit thumbs up. We're up to 176 already. Keep hitting that thumbs up. Keep driving this channel. This is your show as much as it is ours. Let's just keep driving. It's at 179. Keep hitting that thumbs up. We appreciate it. JP, thoughts on Malzahn to Tennessee? It's a tough sell for me. You fire a coach and then all of a sudden you hire him.
Yeah, but I mean, I know that he was struggling down there a little bit, but if you look at his overall record in the toughest conference and toughest division in college football, 3 times beating Bama. I mean, you cannot tell me as a Tennessee fan and the agony and the disgust that we have endured the last 12 plus years that you wouldn't take that right now. I mean, am I going to sit here and say that, he could lead Tennessee to a national championship? I'm not going to say that, but I think that he would have us competing a lot better than what we are right now. So
it's an upgrade.
Malzahn, yeah, I mean, it would be an upgrade. I mean, he is a proven coach. Maybe there's an opportunity there that, since he got fired, that it's lit a fire underneath him, that the possibility could be that he's like, I want to prove Auburn wrong. And with that, but I'm just saying right now, I just cannot believe that if you are a Tennessee fan, that if Malzahn wanted this job, yes, and I understand third Carlos. I understand that he lost to Tennessee. I understand that. But if you look at his overall record and his body of work, I think that you would have to say that he would be an upgrade over any coach that Tennessee has had since they fired Fulmer.
100%. There's no doubt about it.
And listen, let me throw this out here to everybody listening and saying, oh, we're so negative. We all three of us, the last 3 staffs, we've supported and been behind and wanted them to succeed, because at the end of the day, that's what we want for this Tennessee football program. We're not saying, oh yeah, let's lose a bunch of games. No, we want this team to be successful because we are fans just like you guys. But at the end of the day, when you're not beating the teams in front of you, that affects recruiting. So then you're behind that 8 ball again. It's a vicious cycle, and to break that cycle and get off of this, then something's got to change. And losing, what is it, 7 games now by double digits?
Every game, yeah, every game this year, all 7 games by double digits.
That's not breaking the cycle. That's not closing the gap. And Jeremy Pruitt He needs to come off of it if he thinks that there is talent. And like JP said earlier when we started the show, you look at probably the Kentucky game, the Arkansas game, today, the Auburn game. Those are all winnable games. That if we had competent coaching and better play, particularly from the quarterback position. But I think that all goes back to the coaching and lack of development at that position. That's a different story.
It's frustrating. There was something you said I was going to comment on, but I'm going to hit these super chats. You guys are awesome, man. You guys are, like I said, you are showing up and showing out. It's the last game of the season, and it's sad because I know the three of us watched it, and it was we were kind of down. And I know some of that's the 12 o'clock kick, but it's like, man, going into the show, I'm like, are people just done? Do they not care? Like, is anybody even going to show up? And I think I think this is a record high. We have 405 people watching right now, which is absolute insanity. We're glad that you're here. We appreciate it. We appreciate your opinions in the chat, and you guys are being extremely generous with your super chats. So thank you so much for that. But if you can't super chat, that's fine. We don't expect that.
I just want to say something. I mean, I know that there's a lot of people that don't know us personally, obviously. And yes, I mean, we might come across negative to some people, but I can promise you, I mean, I was Derek Dooley bandwagon. I was Lane Kiffin bandwagon. I was Jeremy Pruitt bandwagon. I was Butch Jones bandwagon. Heck, Bentley and I have spent many a Saturdays in Neyland Stadium just absolutely watching this football team get destroyed and talking about it all the way, driving down an hour and a half the morning of, talking about how that we were going to turn the corner this game. We were going to make it happen. It was the turnaround, just to be let down time and time and time again. Tennessee is not a program that should be struggling this bad. They should not be struggling this bad. The resources are down there. You get a competent football coach that has proved themselves, that has actually knows how to run a program, and they will get this team competing. I'm telling you right now, they will do it. There was a report just yesterday, Tennessee, Jeremy Pruitt had 3 silent commits from 3 of the top 100 players in the nation just this year. And he couldn't hang on to them because he's getting absolutely destroyed on the football field where it counts. But
that's what drives me.
More time, then
exactly.
Just keep on giving him more time and keep on losing every single week by multiple double-digit 20-plus points a game, and all you're going to do is just continue to watch these other programs pass you by.
And that's my point about the cycle. All this goes into the recruiting and all this. Yeah.
3 years is your time. That's it. And that's the number one thing that the sunshine pumpers like to throw in your face. You can't keep firing coaches every 3 years. Guess what, brother? 3 years is it. That's the time frame, because at 3 years is when the kids stop buying in. You can't sell, I'm turning this program around, when in year 3 you're losing by double digits in all 7 losses. You are having your first loss to Kentucky in Neyland since 1984. You are losing to Arkansas with a first-year head coach that has not won an SEC game in 2 years. You cannot continue to sell this program when you are losing the way you're losing. 3 years is it, brother. That's it. That's it. If you can't turn this thing around in 3 years, it's over. Move on. It's time to move on, because like JP just said, you have all these kids that are silent commits, but guess what? They're watching the result on the football field. You are not winning. What was the number one thing that Ty Evans said? What do you like about Alabama? Well, they win. They win. That's what these kids want to do. They want to win. We got 434 people watching live. Some of them are pissed off. Some of them don't like us because we're so negative every single week. The other 430 some people love us. I can tell. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up. We're at 218. Make me happy. Let's get it to 300. We're breaking records. I don't think we've ever had a show with 425 people, but here we are. We're glad that you're here. Let me run down all these super chats. There's so many super chats coming in. Let me hit them all. We'll try to cycle back around and figure this thing out and move forward. 435 people watching live right now. Let's do this. Let's get crazy. There's a share button right down below where that thumbs up is. After you hit thumbs up, hit share. Send it to Facebook. Send it to Twitter. Let's get 500 people in here on Talkin VAWLS. If we get 500 people watching live, I'm going to give away 2 free t-shirts tonight. 2 t-shirts. I'm going nuts because my blood pressure is so high. If we get 500 people in here, so hit share, send it to Facebook, send it to Twitter. 500 people, I'm giving away 2 free t-shirts. There it is. I said it. It's done. Travis Adair with a $5 super chat. Have you guys not considered going up to State College and getting James Franklin? Probably be an upgrade. Probably be an upgrade. Probably be an upgrade.
Probably it would be an upgrade, Boogie. I mean, he won at Vanderbilt. I mean, James Franklin would own the state of Tennessee in recruiting. James Franklin would own the state of Tennessee in recruiting. Heck, we can't even win the state. We can't even win the state. I'm telling you, we can't do it. This program is much better than what is being shown. It is much better. And I understand it. We haven't beat teams in 18 or 20 years. I can look at all that stuff. But I'm telling you right now, this program, that university, they can recruit. They can recruit talent. You've just got to show progress on the football field. And we haven't been able to do that. We are so regressing so bad. There is just nothing whatsoever to get excited about. How many years has
let me hit these super chats because the super chats are stacking up so high that they're falling off my screen. So I want to make sure I hit them all. And if I missed your super chat, I'm sorry. Please let me know. Let me get through these, JP, and then we'll keep going. I'm sorry, but StreamYard's flooded and I can't get them all in. Rocky Top 423 for $1.99 says, y'all ain't negative. Y'all are honest. That's what we try to do. And I try to be honest even when I'm called a sunshine pumper. John Robert Tolkerteen, probably saying that wrong, but that's the way I like to pronounce it, for $4.99. Thanks, John Robert, for the super chat. Automatically assume the next hire has an offer with Auburn on the table too if we actually try for a quality coach, that is. Well, the rumor is that Auburn offered Hugh Freeze and he turned them down. So that's interesting. Derek Sanders for $4.99 says, I know we can score if Malzahn was the head coach. Yeah, I think you're right. And I will say the same thing about him that I said about Pruitt, just on the flip side. He needs to hire a defensive coordinator that is a defensive-minded coach and let him do his thing. And I think that's something that Pruitt has not done. I think he brought in Big Jim Chaney, and I think Big Jim Chaney has been handcuffed. Alan V. Troll Patrol says for $5, NCAA investigation halfway through the season. Say it ain't so. Yeah, I think they said it went back a month or so. So maybe, am I caught up? I think I got one more. What's this one? John Robert Tolkerteen back for $9.99. Thanks, John Robert, for the support. I'm 21. Oh, to be young and innocent. I wasn't invested in Tennessee football when we beat Bama last time, so I never seen my Vols win against them one time. Get someone who wins and I can die happy. That's sad. That's sad, John Robert, because the three of us have experienced the glory day. It's sad, man. It's sad. They don't understand what Tennessee football was in the 90s. In the 90s, in November, it was stress-free football. You just knew Tennessee was going to win. You may even find something else to do that day because you knew there was no chance Tennessee was going to lose. Corey Braswell becomes a member of the channel. He has access to the custom emojis. Thank you so much for that, Corey. And we are caught up. Thank you guys for letting me run through all of those super chats. We got 440 people watching live, 249 thumbs up. What are the other 200 of you doing? Do me a favor. Hit thumbs up. Takes 2 seconds. Right down below. Hit that thumbs up. We would greatly appreciate it. But regardless, we are glad that you're here. I need to take a breath. Where do you guys want to go from here? Anybody got a thread they want to go down?
So where do you go? I don't want to talk about the game.
Oh, okay.
We're having too much fun ranting and raving to go down the game. Well, come on. What are you talking about?
Where do you go if it's not Freeze or Mouse on? Who are you thinking?
I'm telling you, it'll be somebody that we don't know. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Just don't say he's right down the road here in Johnson City.
Randy Sanders.
Because we know Fulmer has a relationship with.
I'll take my hat off right now. Randy Sanders probably got Fulmer fired once before. He could do it again.
Oh,
let me hit these because we're stuttering and stumbling. Travis Adair for $5 says, "I know about your pain, gentlemen." His name was Chad Morris. After getting stomped by Western Kentucky 45-19, we were done after 20 games. Fall 92 follows up $4.99. Thanks so much for the support. Time for a freaking coach. I am damn tired of it. Ball 92, you summed up our thoughts. That's it. You know, you can call us negative. You can say what you want. We are just frustrated and we want to win. Chase Talent, thanks so much for becoming a member of the channel. You can use the custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. I hope you'll show them off in the chat. Dauber, you don't want to talk about the game at all?
No, we can talk about the game.
Let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about the game. Let's talk about the quarterback situation. You know, when you look at this football game, there are several things that pop up. Number one, rushing yards. Eric Gray, again, going back to the allegations and the investigation by the NCAA, and Eric Gray randomly has to sit. And the three of us are talking at the time when the news breaks. It's like, well, is this grades? Is it COVID? What's going on? We'll find out in the future, I'm sure. But Eric Gray sits. This team has 24 rushing yards. Tell me he's not the best football player on this team.
Oh, for sure. Most dynamic, you know, heck, well, you know, hold on. We don't even know because we've got a lot of guys standing on the sideline that haven't got onto the field.
True. That's true.
You know, it took eight and a half games to get Jones involved. You know, did you see his return today? That was pretty dynamic. It's the offense has just been so boring. It's hard to tell what playmakers there are. We've not had a quarterback that could throw the ball. Look at the touchdown catch we had today. You know, Tillman made a heck of a play, but what's he done all year? Dropped ones right off his hands.
Yep.
It's I don't know.
How do we jump off sides twice in back-to-back plays by wide receivers? I mean, golly.
That's part of the course for this team. It's part of the course to be, what were they, 3rd and 8? Which it's not like they're in 3rd and manageable, but still 3rd and 8 becomes 3rd and 18 because of 2 false starts by Chandler and Palmer. And then look at the defensive side of the ball. Look at 3rd downs. Texas A&M was 10 of 14. Tennessee gets a huge stop on 3rd down, and Johnson with hands to the face. Just a stupid penalty. And you go from finally getting a stop, having a chance to create some momentum, and yeah, Chase right here, lack of discipline. It drives me nuts too, man. It's like, what the heck? It's so frustrating. It is so frustrating.
We've had that down there with every coach that's been down there since Fulmer. I mean, it drove us crazy during Butch Jones. I remember the same issues happening with Dooley. I'm telling you right now. I mean, we have not had a competent head coach down there since Fulmer. We haven't. They have not had anybody down there that's been competent, and it's this administration just ignorance, just absolutely ignorance.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of people in the chat talking about JG entering the transfer portal. I threw my phone up here. NCAA Football Nation has a tweet that does say, yes, he's put his name in the transfer portal.
Was there any consideration to make a change at quarterback?
No, I mean, I don't really know where that would have helped.
I think there could be a reunion at
What's
Arkansas.
Jones? Good Lord have mercy. What a joke. What an absolute joke. I don't want to talk bad about the kid. I'm just not even going to. I think I already did with my reaction, but I'm just going to leave that alone.
I mean, here's the thing. I said earlier, imagine if the kid had grooming and development and proper coaching.
Could have been a baller. He looked good at times.
Different story. We saw there were balls that he threw that he would thread the needle and put it, some of those back shoulder throws and some of the mid-range. He really never got the deep ball down, but he's a baller. He's a tough kid, gritty and competitive. And man, I really feel that the lack of coaching and development hurt him just as much as this team.
Yep. Yeah, it's frustrating because people that say we're so negative, how many times on this show have I been labeled a JG defender? Because I saw the potential in the kid, and I don't know, man. Sometimes it just didn't click, and maybe it was coaching, whatever the case may be. Lynn Kindred for $4.99. Thanks, Lynn, for the super chat. Says only real receivers we have are Jones and Hyatt. I would have included Palmer in that. I would have included Palmer, but he's not been the same kid since Garantano got benched. He really hasn't. And, a lot of people are speculating and rumors that he's a big JG guy, and he wasn't happy. I don't know if that's the case, but he's not been the same since then. Alex Cole for $2. We shot ourselves in the foot constantly all day. That seems to be par for the course for this team. It seems to be a regular thing that you turn 3rd and 3 into 3rd and 13 on offense, or you take a 3rd and 8 and turn it into a 3rd and 3 on defense, or you get a stop on a 3rd and long and it's an automatic first down. It's par for the course. That's discipline. And where does that start? That starts with Jeremy Pruitt. Rocky Top 423 for $1.99 says, do y'all think anyone at UT has talked to Freeze?
Who knows? I doubt it.
If you read the VolQuest message boards,
high school coach down in West Alabama is probably where we're probably talking to our next coach, probably.
Tennessee Sports Network for $5. Thank you for the support. We appreciate it. It says, I feel like if we're going to hire a no-name, let T have it and grow with him. I don't know, man. I see a lot of people saying that. I love T Martin. I loved him as a player. I just don't think he's head coach material. I don't even think he's offensive coordinator material at this point. I think that would be a mistake.
Our wide receivers have not been good this year. So, and this is his second year coaching wide receivers. Hard pass on that one. I love you, T, for bringing us the championship in '98, but
John Robert Tolker-Teen back with $1.99 says, I doubt UT has talked to anyone yet, being honest. That would be a mistake. You got to put feelers out. You got to talk to people. If you've not talked to anybody, then you're not doing your due diligence.
I think you've always got to have somebody. You've got to have a short list. You got to have it in your desk. You've got to know. Otherwise, you're left in the dark in a situation like Kiffin. And when Kiffin left,
Jamie West hit it nail on the head. Jamie West, Buddy Stevens, I'm telling you.
Is that the dude from the Netflix documentary?
Yeah, Buddy Stevens.
I'm thinking of the other guy, the one that talked like Snoop Dogg. What was his name? Buddy Stevens
Jason
was the
Brown.
first. Yeah.
First guy. Yeah,
Hey,
he was epic, man. He was the one that was fighting the refs out there in the middle of the game.
After every practice, Jason Brown sitting in his hot tub, smoking cigars and drinking bourbon. That's my kind of coach, brother. Sign him up. Bring Jason Brown to the hill, brother. I'm down. I'm on board. Let's do it. What's that guy doing? Is he in prison? I'm not sure.
Probably. James Barger saying Jeff Fisher, hey, at least we wouldn't go worse than 500 every single year. We'd be guaranteed 6-6 with old Jeff Fisher.
Goodness gracious. What else? We got anything? We're almost to an hour, but we have 430 people watching. What do you guys want us to do?
Say a name game.
Do you guys want us to keep going? Do you want us to stay live? Let us know. Put a 1 in the chat. If you want to watch the press conference, we can do that. If you want to, I don't know, let us know what you guys want to do. What else is there to say about the Texas A&M game? We can talk about the quarterback position, but I don't think we really learned anything today. I think that JT Shrout has a cannon, but, he makes mistakes. Harrison Bailey, he makes better decisions throwing the football, but it's very clear he holds on to the ball too long, and that creates turnovers as well. We saw it today.
I mean, it's just frustrating to me that we didn't give at least one of them more of a shot. And I mean,
Yep.
He wants to talk about COVID with Bailey and not having a spring practice and missing so much fall camp, but he can't say that about Shrout, because Shrout was down there last year. He played last year, and I don't think anybody that's watched any of these games can argue that Shrout is the most gifted quarterback as far as actual overall athletic ability, arm strength, all of that. So why not allow him to try to develop and work through some of the issues that he has as far as making bad decisions and so forth? Why not give him more opportunity to, get some touch on the ball instead of throwing it 100-mile-an-hour each and every time? Those type of things like that. But, all we want to do is just, quarterback in, quarterback out, quarterback in, quarterback. And that's what we did last year. Even during the winning streak, it was just up and down. And, ultimately, that's what's going to end up costing Pruitt his job. Whether it's this year or next year, it's the lack of being able to develop a quarterback is going to end up costing Jeremy Pruitt his football job. Whether it's this year or next year, it's going to happen.
I fully agree with you.
It's going to be interesting to see how things play out if Jeremy Pruitt does come back. What is 2021 going to look like? What's COVID going to look like? Is this team going to get a spring practice? Hopefully, they're rolling out I don't want to really go into COVID and the vaccine and people start putting stupid stuff in the comment section, but they're rolling out this vaccine. Hopefully we are getting back to normal, but we don't really know what the spring of 2021 is going to look like. Ball 92, thanks for the super chat, $4.99. Anyone see Cooper Mays laughing on the sideline down 31-13? Crazy that it seems like none of them really care. At the end of the day, they're kids, and it is frustrating because we want to win, and sometimes I think that we care more than them, as dumb as that sounds, because these kids put in work week in and week out. And, I'll never forget leaving a Florida game after Tennessee lost and seeing Derrick Rogers and Justin Hunter walking by the parking garage as myself and Snake were waiting to get out. And they're laughing and cutting up and having a good time. And me and Snake are so pissed. And we're going to be pissed for the entire hour-and-a-half drive home. And these two kids just walked out of the locker room and they were laughing and cutting up and having a good time because guess what? They're going to go to a party or they're going to go do this. They're going to do that. They're going to live their life. I think the reality is they're 18 to 22-year-old kids. And that's it. It is what it is. Alan B. Troll Patrol for $5. Thanks, Alan, for the super chat. Bowl game, baby. Let's talk about it. I love bowl season. Yeah, Alan, we are going to go live. If they do get a bowl bid, we are going to go live immediately after, day after something. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel and dialed in, and we will have bowl coverage as sarcastic as your super chat is. But I love you, Alan. Thanks for the support. Travis Adair for $5 says Pruitt should be fired. Unstable program. Let coach go after 4 games for offensive problems. Don't believe in Bailey. Secondary sucks. Enough said. You're right, Travis. You're right. I hope Jeremy Pruitt had fun today coaching the defense, the defensive line, being the head coach, probably coached running backs too, if I know Jeremy Pruitt well enough. There's one more super chat here. I just missed it. Let me go back. Lynn Kindred for another $4.99 super chat. With the choices they make up there, we are liable to see someone like Les Miles or someone else come in. I would have taken Les Miles when they hired Pruitt, to be honest with you. But that's it. We're caught up on super chats. Some people want to play the press conference. I'm checking YouTube. It's not updated yet. It's not there. Do you guys want to watch the press conference or not?
I'm up for whatever, man.
Somebody has the press conference uploaded, and it's Rick Barnes. So,
wonder if he could coach defense for the football team.
I think some of the basketball players could probably play defense.
Get Pons out there to stop a slant.
Yeah, I mean the basketball team's been very impressive on the defensive end of the court this year so far, and they've had a lot of COVID issues.
Hey, listen,
Maybe old Pruitt needs to call old Barnes up and ask him how that he gets buy-in for the defense.
I just saw a question in the chat asking about becoming a member. You want to run through that?
Yeah, if you look, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're on an Apple product, it's not going to work. You got to be on Android or on your laptop. If you look right down below,
Apple.
right? Yeah, Apple sucks. I will never buy an Apple product again. But if you look down around the subscribe button, there's also a button that says join. You can hit join the channel. Just 99 cents a month. You can get access to the custom Talking Balls emojis, or also I think there's one that says Talking Balls Faithful, something like that. It's $2.99. It's basically just a tip, which we appreciate. So yeah, you can join the channel. It would mean a lot to us. Kind of like it's, a lot of these people are dropping $5, $10, $15 super chats. We've had people drop $100 super chats. It's insanity. It blows my mind. It's almost like here's a thank you. You guys provide free content. We greatly appreciate that. But if you want to just give us like $1, $2, $3 tip per month, that's what joining the channel really kind of does. And you get the emojis just as a perk. John Robert Tolker teen comes back with $5. I'm up for more pain. Let's watch the press conference. I'm still waiting on it to upload. I keep searching it and it's not popping up. So we're waiting on that. We can continue talking about the Texas A&M game. You guys are throwing money our way. If you want to check out the Talkin Balls merch, we have let me do this. This is the best way to show it. We have merchandise with the old school Talkin Balls logo, which is this. You can get Talkin Balls hoodies, Talkin Balls t-shirts. We also have the cartoon emojis, which you can see on Dauber's microphone stand. We have merchandise with that on it. If you don't like that, if you want the State Pride merchandise, we have t-shirts, hoodies, 3/4 sleeve baseball shirts with the Talkin Balls State Pride logo on it. But if you guys want to pick that up, we would appreciate that because it supports the channel. Not only you're throwing some money our way, but also you are advertising for us. So we appreciate that. Dent Clinic says here's a $5 tip into the tip jar. Thank you so much for that. No comment, but thanks for the support. We appreciate it. Go ahead.
You guys want to talk about the picture I sent you guys?
We can. Do you want to screen share? Do you have it pulled up?
I've got it on my phone here.
This is the guy that is involved with allegations and NCAA sanctions. That
was money well spent right there.
What an idiot, dude! He just looks like his tweet last week, and now this picture with his $100 bills. Kid looks like an idiot, man.
Yeah, I mean that's not a good look.
Spent. So did he tweet that out?
Probably at some time, I would imagine.
At some point, not recently, but yeah.
to consider that if we paid that guy, oh my God, we're stupider more than I thought.
And granted, that's just a picture pulled offline that somebody has attached on Twitter with the news of the allegations. So, yeah.
I mean, who in the world in their right mind would pay a 3-star recruit from Florida that, obviously, I don't know who that he had offers from, but obviously it wasn't like any of the big name schools. And we're paying, I'm not sure that I believe that. I could believe if we paid Eric Gray or Crouch or somebody like that, I guess, but right now,
well, then we don't know.
Mercy.
They could have been benched for grades or COVID. We don't know.
Right.
Just the timing of everything.
That's what I want to say. It's the timing of everything being released, all the current kind of state of everything in Knoxville, and the frying pan's hot for Coach Pruitt, and like we alluded to earlier, I think that all this could be possible moves to try to negate the buyout. For those for those that are asking, that was a picture of Brian Maurer. look to be like in high school with a big wad of cash.
I'm still searching for the press conference and it's not coming up. So I don't know if maybe they just don't have it uploaded yet. Maybe it is a sign that we should wrap this. JP does not want to stay. We have 400 people and JP's like,
no, I wasn't saying that.
Like
I was insinuating maybe that UT doesn't want the press conference released.
Let me hit these new members. Sean Boyce has become a member of the channel. We appreciate that. David Gibbs has also become a member of the channel. You guys, I hope you flood those emojis into the chat.
David Gibbs was coming in hot using his new emoji.
Yeah, look at that.
You could always take
Pruitt,
phone calls, Boogie. We could always take phone calls.
Good Lord, do you want to do that? There's 400 people here, JP, and a bunch of trolls too. There's a bunch of trolls too.
You know, I'm telling you, you want to keep this going tonight? We should.
Good Lord have mercy. Do you all want to join the show? If you want to join the show and take listener comments live on air, put a 1 in the chat. Good Lord, what's going to happen? I'm going to need to go refill my drink.
I've got 2 good buddies that sat through it live in Neyland that would give anything to be on this show right now today.
Do we need to limit it to members?
Maybe. I don't know. What is happening right now? I'm going to have to go fill my drink up if we're going to stay live for like 2 hours.
Sean Boyce says that he'll join the show.
Good Lord. Alan V wants us to do it. All right.
Alan V, the Troll Patrol. Let's get old Alan V on there. Let's hear about how that, what's his face down there at Georgia messed up and didn't messed up the quarterback situation down there and cost them a good chance at a national championship.
Walter Miller just became a member of the channel. Thanks so much, Walter. We appreciate that support. I hope you'll throw those emojis in the chat. People are going nuts putting 1 saying we need to stay live. Can we do this? I'm number 1. I got to pee. We've been live for an hour and 10 minutes. I have to pee. Can the 2 of you talk about the A&M game for maybe 5 minutes? And then I'll come back. We'll add some listeners and maybe the press conference will load by then. And we will just stay live all night. We'll stay live for 3 hours. They're dropping super chats. They're joining the channel. If you guys keep throwing money at us, we'll stay live for 3 hours. John Robert Tolkertine says, I'm a member now. I can play with the emojis as well. All right, I'll be right back. You guys run the show, and then we'll add listeners after I get back.
So, Dauber, I mean, again, you know, talking about this Tennessee game, I mean, Texas A&M. I mean, you know, we go down the field, first drive. I mean, probably the best drive that Chaney's had all season long. And I'm like, heck yeah. And I've, you know, talking to Brandy, and I'm like, but wait a minute. I said, we probably won't score another time, which ultimately we did. But I mean, again, when you look at it, we didn't look nowhere near as competent on offense after that first drive. And then, you know, the defense, I think Texas A&M ended up being 10 for 14 on third down. It was every time. It's the same thing every single game with this bunch. We can't get off the field on third down. We cannot do it. And then we continue to just shoot ourselves in the foot. There's always one player on every single snap on offense that's screwing up every single time.
Yeah, I agree. And that's I made the comment to you guys after that first drive. Do you think that Chaney opened it up and played more of the style that he would because Pruitt was focused on coaching the defense with Ansley being out and that he wasn't meddling in the offense? Because like you said, that first drive, man, that was something like we've not seen.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, we had motion, we were shifting, we were actually making the defense think before the ball was snapped.
Oh, yeah.
I'd been screaming that all season long. Why are we just so vanilla on offense? But then again, you know, we end up scoring 13 points.
Yep.
I mean, it's so frustrating over and over again. But, you know, we knew that the big play of the game was when it was 17-13. That Texas A&M drive right before half. Tennessee held them on third down, and DeAndre Johnson, senior, goes in, slaps his face mask, gets called for a personal foul. We all knew when they went down the field and they scored that touchdown and made it 24-13 that we would never get any closer the rest of the game.
Yeah. Defensively, I mean, it's the same thing we've seen all year. The secondary is they look lost on plays. They're step or two late in reaction, and then even with the season that Teoto's had, the linebacking the group has been horrible,
Completely lost
in pass coverage. I mean, Crouch and Banks, great in run support. They'll come up and make a play at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage. But man, if they're asked to cover somebody in the flat or step up and cover a slot, you might as well just chalk it up as a complete pass. So easy, pitch and catch. And that's what I said to you guys. I think A&M's first drive, they ripped off, I think it was 4 plays in a row, all over 10 yards. It was like a 12 yards, 11 yards, 18 yards, and then Mond had an 11-yard run. The defense was just so soft. Our secondary plays so far off the ball. You're giving up a 3, 4, 5-yard pass right off the ball. And these are the things I don't understand, especially with Pruitt and Ansley. Their concentration's supposed to be the secondary. That's their defensive back guys. And that has been one of the things going into the season that I thought we'd have nothing to worry about. You had Taylor and Flowers was coming back. I know we lost Nigel Warrior, but I thought the secondary was going to be solid, and they have been a liability all season long.
Yeah, for sure. We got a couple of new members I want to give a shout out to. We got Josh Mahler. Josh, appreciate you joining the site. We certainly appreciate it, Josh. And then I think we got another one down there. Who is it, Bookie? Ray something. Ray Miller. Thank you.
I like when you run the show, JP. You're learning. I can just sit back and watch you run the show. It's amazing. You're growing. I'm teaching you.
Oh yeah. I just got to get this computer fixed.
Let's hit the super chat from Rocky Top 423, $1.99. Thank you for the support. It says Pruitt's fired. Won't be a post game. Wait, is this real?
No. Press conference is up.
Is it up? It's posted now. All right. Well, we've already made a promise to you guys. I still don't see it. It's still not showing up on my YouTube feed. We made a promise to you. We're going to take callers. The link is in the chat. If you want to come on, the link is there. Just click on that little StreamYard link. Make sure kids aren't screaming in the background. Make sure that you don't come on and start cussing and carrying on. If you do, you'll be kicked off the show and probably banned, and it's not going to be fun at all. But join. The link is there. I'll put it back in there again.
And I'll throw this out here. We'll take your opinion. We'll go back and forth and banter. Keep it respectful, though.
Just be respectful. You can say whatever you want to say. I do not care. Derek Owens is also a member of the channel now. Thank you so much, Derek. Again, the link is there on StreamYard. If you guys want, you guys demanded it. You guys better be flooding in. I've only got one here, but we're going to go ahead and bring him onto the show now. Desi Vol, dude, welcome to Talkin VAWLS.
Hey guys, how are y'all doing?
What's happening?
Good. How are you?
What's up, Desi Vol?
Man, it has been a painful season to watch the Vols play. Like every single half, they can't score touches. It's always a blowout on the second half. You guys notice that?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like,
has to be the lack of adjustments. Has to be.
I mean, they just go to the locker room and there's like, I'm not going to show up in the second half. And I also have noticed that Jared Garantano, I like him. He's only a first half player. Like he's only a 30-minute quarterback. After the rest of the game, he sucks. That's why we've been losing most of our games.
And even last year, like talking about him being like a 1/2 guy, like last year he played better coming off the bench. Like they would start Shrout or they would start Maurer, and then Garantano would come in and he would play good football.
That's what I feel like they should have done this year. Is like they should have Garantano the first half, or the second half, and then just switch out the quarterbacks in the first half and just have them split the reps.
Yeah. It's an unusual situation that a quarterback would play better, coming off the bench or whatever. What are your thoughts, though, Desi Ball, dude? Where are you at on Jeremy Pruitt? Are you in or are you out? Are you ready to move on, or do you think he deserves more time?
I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and give him one more year, because again, we can't constantly keep, hiring people, because even during COVID times, the administration is losing money, correct? So we can't keep buying people, keep paying off people. We can get worse, believe it or not. Matters can get worse, and we can still complain and still be negative about it and still beat our chest. But Tennessee needs some form of stability until we get the next guy in. I say have a little bit of stability until we find someone.
The thing is, for me, like I want to buy in and believe that Pruitt's the guy. The problem for me is I'm watching the on-field product, and I just don't have that confidence. So
it's been the regression because we've gotten worse. You're not seeing signs of improvement, and there are all these red flags now. And now you have an indictment into the program, allegations of impropriety and cheating and recruiting violations. So that's a black eye, and that can hang around with the coach for a long time. You look at Art Briles, and I know recruiting violations and covering up sexual misconduct is a completely different story. But Art Briles, you mentioned his name, and nobody wants to even get near bringing him in as a coach. So if these things are true, and I assume it's going to be, if something's not made happen with Pruitt in the next couple of days, either Fulmer coming out and saying he's our coach, we're staying with him, or if he is let go and we hear that, then these allegations, we won't know anything solid or concrete on them for a while. So it's interesting. I was on board like you were, giving him a little bit more time until the last couple of weeks, and the article that came out, and JP had talked about it first. I'm not sure where he saw it, but Pruitt saying, I don't have to stay here and put up with this stuff. I can go back and coach defense at Alabama. That kind of did it for me. That says to me that he's not bought in, and he could care less.
Let me ask you this, and then we'll get you off here and move on to the next caller. But I want to ask you this, as a guy that wants to see Pruitt get more time, has he shown you anything, or is it more of just, we knew going into this thing that it was a five-year deal? Like, has he shown you anything positive, or do you just think it's all about timing?
I'm honestly still trying to wrap my head around, why did we give this guy a contract extension when he himself hasn't proven anything? I feel like if you're a head coach at Tennessee, the only reason why you should get a contract extension is if we win the SEC. I feel like that should be not just win a bowl game. Pruitt, unfortunately, has not shown me the drive or desire to want to be a prideful head coach. I feel like this is more of a job for him. And I want Tennessee to hire someone who's like, this is our pride, this is our spirit, this is what Tennessee football is. The reason why I'm on the bandwagon to keep him aboard is, I know his buyout is huge, and it's the money game for me. It's like, can we afford a new guy?
And I'm kind of on board. I've said that for a while, but then it comes to a point that I'm like, it's not my money. I don't really care. But thanks for coming on, Desi Ball, dude. We appreciate you showing up. We appreciate you hanging out with us. We're going to move on to the next caller. But
love the show.
Appreciate it,
subscribe, everybody.
Thanks,
Appreciate you.
Let me get this super chat from Walter Miller for $5. He says, "Fire Pruitt now." I think he was trying to take a shot at Desi Ball while he was live on the show. Thanks for the support, Walter. We appreciate it. Let's move on. Who do we got next? We got MJ Customs, Tennessee. What's going on, brother? Welcome to the show.
Hey man, how you doing?
What's
Doing
happening?
good. How are you?
Y'all do a great job. I appreciate you doing this.
Thanks, man. We
Appreciate it, MJ.
What's on
I
your
don't
mind?
know. I just feel like there's so many problems that it's just crazy that they can't tackle, they can't make a play, and it's just frustrating. But as a Vol fan, you've got to hang in there. And next year I think will be the year to test these guys and judge these guys, because this will be the 4 years that Pruitt cycle will be fulfilled.
So let's judge on what we've seen so far. So it sounds to me like you are a guy that wants to give Pruitt at least another year, at least one more year. Is that right?
At least.
So what have you seen up to this point that makes you believe that he can be the guy?
We're starting 19 freshmen. You can't expect everybody to get it when they're coming in. And JG is a 5th-year senior. And, he's going to me, he's not Pruitt's guy. Bailey and Shrout look to be, to me, as Pruitt's guys.
Well, let me play devil's advocate there. If JG is not Pruitt's guy, why does he let him give him such a long leash and kind of sent us down this road and told us, kind of week in and week out that Harrison Bailey's not ready, JT Shrout. The Harrison Bailey thing, I get. I understand, him not getting spring practice and all that stuff, fall practice. I get it. Shrout played last year. Shrout started last year. So I don't understand why he would be so committed to Jarrett Garantano, especially look at the Kentucky game. Like for me, I've defended Jarrett Garantano for a long time. Even at the beginning of this season, I kind of agreed with what Pruitt was saying. He gives us the best chance to win. But that Kentucky game, he 100% cost Tennessee that game.
Well, you also had Brian Maurer who played last year as well.
Right.
And that was another option that we never saw.
Problem is Tennessee's got 4 quarterbacks, which means that they don't have one. That's the whole problem.
Yep.
Right.
MJ, let me drop you off. We
only-
got a bunch of people trying to come in. Give us a final comment, and then we're gonna move on. But thanks for joining us. What's your final comment?
Appreciate it,
My
MJ.
only explanation for all of that is JG is a 5th-year senior, and it could be political, because
Very much.
seniors, especially a 5th-year senior, should know what he's doing. But it hasn't worked out that way.
Yep.
And if he's in the transfer portal right now, to me, it don't matter where he goes. If he's trying to get into the NFL and it takes another, who knows, year and a half, 2 years, there's nobody going to pick him up.
Yeah.
So what's the point of the transfer portal? But,
That kind of surprised me. I
y'all
thought
do a great job, and go Vols.
Thanks for coming on, MJ. I appreciate it. Yeah, the whole JG going to the transfer portal, that kind of surprises me. I thought he was going to move on. Let me go ahead and add this guy. He hates me. He loves JP. We're going to bring him on because I love Wayne, even though he doesn't like me. Wayne, welcome back to the show, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. You love me again now, Boogie?
I've always loved you, buddy. I've always loved
What's up,
come on now.
Wayne?
What's up, JP? Hey, Dauber.
What's going on, Wayne?
Hey, I updated my shirt, guys. You ready?
Uh-oh.
What's it look like,
Here we
Wayne?
go. Here we go. You ready? It's good, Boogie. I ain't gonna get you in trouble.
It's going to have Harrison Bailey on it.
Oh,
I knew it. Oh, the 5 fell off.
My 5 fell off.
It's all right. I knew where you were
My
going,
backside
Wayne.
5 fell off. My wife didn't put it on right.
I knew where you were going, Wayne. I
I
like
like
it.
it, Wayne. I like it, buddy.
So what
it.
are your thoughts, Wayne? What do you think about the program in general, the game tonight, everything that's come about the last 24 hours?
I just said at the beginning of the year, this year's all messed up. Let's put Bailey in. He's our future. Let's take this one on the chin. We took it anyway. We would have had him for 4 more years. That's what I said.
I don't think you're wrong.
You
I don't think you're
right,
wrong.
Wayne. Yeah.
I mean, and then I put my JG shirt on, and then I about burned it, and I thought, I put it into a Harrison Bailey shirt. Much better.
It looks
like
much better.
Wayne.
Much better.
Yeah, I like
All
it,
right,
Wayne.
guys.
We appreciate you,
I'm
buddy.
not mad at you, Boogie. I'm
glad you're here, Wayne. I appreciate it. I hope you understand
that,
that when
I ain't buying no
Look at
super
that hat,
chats.
Wayne.
you
Wayne's
don't have
got
to.
on.
You don't have to, Wayne. You don't have to. I like it.
Look
It
at that
looks
hat.
good.
How you
Wayne's
like
got
that?
on.
I like it.
That's
Wayne.
right.
Okay,
And I'm
look.
Look at that.
Wait a minute. Look on the back. It's not identical. Nothing on the back.
Yeah.
It's
Nike.
good. I like it. I like it.
There's nothing on the back. I got JP one. I put Vols JP on it, so I'm not in love
Yeah.
with him.
I'm not in love with him either.
They're not me,
I'm not-
Wayne.
Well, maybe just a little bit, JP.
Oh, just a little bit. I'm not in love with him at all. Wayne, I'm glad you're here. No hard feelings. Look, just
No
I
hard
just,
feelings, Boogie.
I just want you to know when there's so many people in the chat, it's so hard. It's so hard to keep up with it. I'm glad you're a supporter of the show. I'm glad you came on tonight.
Man, listen, I'm so mad over the Vols that I guess I take it out on everybody.
No,
My
me
wife
too.
hates me even.
Don't we all?
My wife's
We
about
all
to kill
do,
me.
yeah.
I took my flag down out front. I live in Florida. I took my flag down, wadded up, and threw it in the back room. I didn't throw it in the trash. I threw it in the back room. I didn't throw it in the trash. I put it in the back room because I'm going to put it up again next year. But man, I'm
We
so
still
mad.
got basketball to root for, Wayne, though. We still got
Amen, man.
basketball.
Amen. And they looked good last night. Real good. Real good.
Oh, yeah.
Once
Hey,
again,
we're
though,
gonna-
I'm not a big Ponds fan. So remember I said that. I'm not a big Ponds fan.
Wayne, we're going to move on to the next caller, but the
Hey,
last
I love,
Wayne.
I love you guys. I love Fulkerson, though. Fulkerson.
I got
he's the
one. I
man.
got one question I want to ask before you move on. I want to ask if you had all the power tonight, would you fire Jeremy Pruitt or would you give him another year?
I'd fire him only because he should have started Bailey this year, knowing that it was a free year, and we got him for 4 more years.
Yep,
that's why.
I agree. Thanks for coming on.
Only reason.
Thanks for coming on, Wayne. We're going to move on to the next caller. We appreciate you jumping in.
Okay, guys. I'll see you
Good night,
guys.
Wayne. I'm glad Wayne came on. That just, like the Grinch, his heart grew 3 sizes. That's what just happened in my heart. I feel like me and Wayne are friends again, and I appreciate that. We have 363 people watching live right now. If you're wondering what's going on, we've already done our regular show. This is just a bonus. It's just a bonus for our fans, for our listeners. We are doing this for you. We are taking callers. The link is in the chat. You guys can come in. You can ask a question. You can make a comment. Just make sure you have a shirt on. Don't cuss. And that's it. That's all we ask. And also hit that thumbs up. Let's get it to 400. We're at 316. I think we can get there. Tim Bradley, welcome to the show, buddy.
Dang, Boogie, I had to throw this shirt on real quick.
I know. I saw you down there in the green room with no shirt on, smoking a cigar.
No, I'm sure not doing that.
I did have to change my hoodie. I wasn't wearing an orange hoodie down here to I was a little bit disappointed. JP put on a Kentucky blue hoodie.
That is not Kentucky blue.
I want to win.
This is
there-
a nice boat t-shirt or a
There is
sweatshirt. It's not
definitely
Kentucky blue.
nothing with this football team worth smoking a cigar over. I can tell you that right now.
No.
But I don't know. I had a question for you guys actually. So if this, for sake of argument, if we keep Pruitt another year, which even with all this scandal stuff, I don't see them getting rid of him. I just don't. I think Fulmer's too loyal, and he'll keep a hold of him. Are you guys afraid that we're going to start losing some of this talent, not so much on the recruiting trail, but to the transfer portal next year if he stays?
It's very possible, Tim. I mean, that's the whole new dynamic that nobody really knows about with college football. And of course the NCAA first has to approve this one-time transfer rule, and then there's questions whether the SEC will actually end up adopting it as well. But I think that it is definitely a huge concern with that because again, I think that there is talent on this football team. For whatever reason, it's just not being developed, and it's not showing on Saturdays. But there's talent enough on this football team to be a lot more competitive than what we're seeing on Saturdays. I fully believe that.
That's what's so frustrating about it to me is you see the little flashes of it. I mean, we saw it tonight when they made that first drive. I was like, oh my God, they've got my hopes up. And we turn around the very next drive, and I was like, when A&M tied it up, I said, all right, we're going to go to playing conservative again.
Yeah, it was like night and day, the offensive play calling that series to the next series.
Yeah, and I do not, of all the years I've watched this sport, I can't understand that swift of a change, and we've seen it since the Georgia game this year. How you go into the locker room, one team at halftime, and then come out the exact opposite. I mean, this is the most frustrating, weird year of football I can ever remember watching. And I've been watching this university like you guys. I was probably watching it before I even knew what football was.
Yep.
Well, I sat on the couch this afternoon with my son, 6 years old, and we're sitting there watching the game, and I'm explaining to him. He said, "Now, what does that mean?" I said, "Okay, well, it's 1st and 10. You've got 4 downs to get 10 yards, and stuff like that. Things, and that is why that as a fan, I can't accept mediocrity. I can't accept this team going out and playing the way they've played this year and 3 wins because of stuff like that. Because I don't want my son to grow up and be an Alabama or a Clemson or a Florida fan. I'd hate to have to kick him out.
Yeah. I said this. I said this, Dauber, from all my kids were born in Maryland because I was stationed up there when all my kids were born. They didn't know any other team other than Tennessee. Last year when we moved down here, I took my kids to a basketball game, my 2 sons. And, my 7-year-old, when we came down around the river, and there you see the outline of Neyland Stadium, it's like he thought that was a mythical land that didn't exist, and now he's actually getting to see it.
Right.
But he doesn't – if this keeps going the way it's going, he's not going to have the connection to that I have.
Absolutely.
And I hate that.
I'll never forget the first time I walked in Neyland Stadium. It feels like just a magical place, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that first time you step foot on hollowed ground, like it's a magical place. And I don't know that our kids will ever understand that.
And I guess I don't want to get on this, but that's what bothers me about what the whole Brian Maurer tweet. Mm-hmm. I was never a student at that university, but, my helmet, the whole time I was deployed, it had a Power T penciled in the back of it.
Mm.
That university, that football team, that sports team it was part of my identity. It was something that kept me here. It was something it was a piece of home that came with me. So I am invested in that.
They don't understand that. And I got chills hearing you say that, because how many people do you see that are deployed overseas and they raise that Power T flag because that's a part of home? And I hate to say it, but even though I said it earlier, sometimes I think we care more than some of the players down there care.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I mean, it could be – I've made more friends in football and sports from other teams just because that's the connection that we had together, was not just the Southeastern Conference.
Absolutely. And that's like guys we have that regularly tune into the show here from other teams. And, it's that camaraderie and all of that connection, that brotherhood you get from sport, not just because you're competitors, but sport in general.
Tim, we're going to get you out of here. We got a few more people waiting to come on. I want to ask you before we move on. If you were
Thanks,
in charge
Tim.
tonight, are you firing Pruitt or are you going to give him another year?
At this point, I think you got, like you said, Boogie, you hit the nail on the head when you said in today's time, 3 years is your limit. With the speed the game is being played nowadays, if you can't turn it around in 3 years, I just don't see you doing it because you're going to lose the recruits.
Yep.
You're going to get that much further behind.
And if you're not recruiting at Alabama's level, I'm sorry, it's been proven you're not going to beat them because they just put too much product and too much talent on the field. So, yeah, I mean, if I was – I mean, he'd have been gone before the Vandy game if it had been me.
Maybe the fourth week when he fired the defensive line coach.
Yeah.
All right, Tim, thanks for coming on. As always,
guys.
we appreciate your service, buddy. Thanks for coming on. It's so true. It's so true. Like 3 years, and people can yell and scream and say, you keep firing coaches after 3 years. But the reality is that 3-year mark is when you start seeing recruits quit buying in. You know, year 1, year 2, they're buying in, opportunity for playing time. We're going to change the program. They're still buying in. You get into year 3, they stop believing that. Will Good for $4.99. Thanks for the super chat. We appreciate it. Guys, keep throwing money at us. You don't have to stop just because we're bringing callers on. We appreciate any and all super chats. My sport guys, Tony Basilio, show need to be took off the air. He's reporting they're trying to get out of the Pruitt buyout by reporting violations. Will, you got to look at it, though, buddy. It's interesting timing to drop that article. Very, very, very interesting timing. I don't know. We're going to find out what the truth is eventually. Let's go ahead and bring John Robert on the show. John Robert, welcome. Thanks for all the super chats tonight.
Oh, no problem, guys. What's up?
What's happening?
Oh, wow. He's got better audio than all of us.
I'm a video gamer. That's
What's up, John?
I was just going to point out a funny little thing I found on the internet while I was sitting there waiting to join. So apparently they got part of the press conference up on the internet, and there was an actual question asking them whether or not he thought that Pruitt thought that he was going to be there next year.
Oh yeah, we can play that right now. Look, I got that right here. Where'd it go? Here it is.
Entering this final game of the regular season, have you received any assurances from Philip Fulmer that you'll be back next year?
You know what? We've been focusing on our every day at practice.
That ain't a confident man.
Nope. He's been done for a while when it comes to press conferences. He checked out weeks ago.
Yeah, and I've kind of been so personally, like, you know, like I said earlier, I don't know Tennessee for winning, at least at football. Basketball, different story. Football, like I think I started watching my grandparents like when I was 7, 8, so about 08 when I joined in. It was right after Kiffin got, you know, all that hate where they're like burning the rock and stuff like that. You know, remember all that? But
oh, yeah.
pretty much, yeah, I joined in there, so I don't really know Tennessee for winning. Pretty much, you know, we had those like the occasional season where we go maybe get like 7 or something like that, but I don't know them for winning really. So this is all kind of like I don't know where to go at this point. You know, my dad has been in with Tennessee since he was like 10. He's 65, so he's been with them for forever, right? But even he's at this point, he's kind of fallen off the wagon at this point, the Pruitt wagon, because he's up until about halfway through this game, he was with Pruitt still, and he just he's mad. I never seen my dad mad about football before in my life, so
I'm surprised he's made it this long. Seahawk says, "Dude, you're too young to be on the show." Let me ask you this: like, I know, and maybe it's just like family tradition, passing it down. Your dad's a Tennessee fan, so I get it. Is that the only reason you're a Tennessee fan is because of your dad?
Actually, no. Originally I started being a Tennessee fan because I actually enjoyed the basketball program there. It was close to home. I go to the ball games and stuff. And I actually got into football because I remember they had like a double game. They had a football game the same day as basketball, and we scalped tickets from a guy out front of the gate who was giving rid of his tickets, and we got nosebleed seats. And that's how I actually got into Tennessee football.
Oh, so sad. So sad. Oh God! I can remember going to the orange and white game
at some point in time that you can see some competent football down there, buddy.
I mean, I'm proud of them regardless. You know, I enjoy football. I enjoy basketball. I enjoy volunteer sports in general. But at this point, I just don't know what direction to go because I mean, one side of me, I think we should get rid of Pruitt this instant. Should have been gone 5 games ago, in my opinion. And the other half of me wants him to stay because, you know, I don't really know who we're going to hire besides Freeze. Maybe, you know, there's nobody really out there willing to take it that's going to be competent. Maybe Malzahn, but that's a 50-50 coin right there, pretty much, with Malzahn.
That's the big question: is where do you go if you do fire Jeremy Pruitt? You know, and the thing about Jeremy Pruitt, the reason he's so likable up until this season, like this season, it's been pretty bad for him press conference wise, but bleeding into this season, he says all the right things, especially coming off of Butch Jones, like the used car salesman, like all the pitches he gave us. I'll never forget Jeremy Pruitt's first press conference is like, oh, this is the guy. Like, this is the guy. He gets SEC football. He understands our passion and where we're coming from. Unfortunately, it just didn't play out on the field like we wanted it to.
And I think it's partly because he's got that Saban complex just from where he came from, you know, because he's used to Saban, you know, being in his business constantly and everybody's business and kind of having his hands in everything. And he thinks that he needs to replicate that to his football team. It just doesn't work for him. He just kind of, everything gets outside of his control.
That's okay if you're winning.
Right. Right.
Oh, yeah, it's fine if you're winning. It works for Saban. It just doesn't work for Pruitt because, like I said, it seems like he just gets overwhelmed the more he tries to take over and just gets outside of where he can reach and it falls apart on him.
Yep. So I'm going to ask you this and we're going to get you out of here. We got a couple more people waiting to come on. I'm assuming if you were in charge and you made the decision, you're dumping Pruitt tonight.
I'd probably say dump him. I just don't know where he'd go. I mean, you fire him. And
would you hire Hugh Freeze?
I'd say Hugh Freeze. I would say talk to Malzahn first, though. If you could get Malzahn, I'd prefer Malzahn because it just looks bad if you get Hugh Freeze after you're coming off of allegations and then get a guy who got fired for allegations. It just doesn't look good.
Yep. I agree 100%. Thanks so much for coming on, John. Thanks for all the super chats tonight. We appreciate the support and always tuning in week in and week out.
All right. See you guys.
Thanks, buddy. Oh, man. We got a few more callers tuning in. We do have 373 people watching live. If you have not done so yet, do us a favor. Hit that thumbs up. A lot of you have. I can already see it. We're way up over 300. We appreciate you guys hanging out. This is a bonus show. It's the last show of the year other than bowl game coverage and all that stuff. We'll still be dialing in and keeping you guys up to date on that. But it's the last game. You guys, I'm kind of shocked. Over 400 at one point. But let's go ahead and bring on the next caller. Cody, welcome to the show.
What's going on, guys?
What's happening, Cody?
Nothing much.
What do you got for us tonight? Thoughts on the overall program, the game? What do you want to talk about?
Well, let's put it this way. Pruitt doesn't need to coach Tennessee. Flat out.
No.
He ain't fit for it. Honestly, I thought he could change meddling in the offense, but it doesn't look like he's going to. If he can fix that, honestly, I would say we would have a much better shot at competing year in, year out. But if he can't do that, it's not going to happen. Now, Pruitt needs to go, but I really think you hire Chaney as offensive coordinator. I think you just throw the checkbook at him or hire him as head coach, because I think he needs an opportunity as a head coach other than just offensive coordinator. Because, listen, you're never going to turn down $8-9 million over 1.5. Let's be real. You're not. Don't matter who you are. Don't matter how good you are or bad you are as a head coach. You're never going to turn down that kind of money. But I do think you give Hugh Freeze one call. One call.
I don't think you even have to give him a call. You just have to decide. I think it's very clear that Hugh Freeze wants to come to Tennessee. Yeah. So if you're ready to move on, I think you have your next head coach lined up. It's all about money at this point. To me, that's just what I think.
Yeah, that's a good point. But if there's violations that actually get filed against Tennessee, I don't think he'll at all.
How do you fire a coach because of NCAA violations and then hire one that has been there, done that? That's a tough sell. That's a tough sell.
I don't think you do. I don't. I think you got to go get Malzahn or maybe a younger guy that is unproven.
That's man. I don't know that I'm ready. To me, if you're going to fire Jeremy Pruitt, you have to have a hire lined up. Like
Yes.
these up and comers, we can't keep doing it. You can't do it with Derek Dooley and Butch Jones and Jeremy Pruitt. And you do one more. What are we going to be having this conversation in 3 years?
I'm ready to get off that merry-go-round.
So am I. So am I.
I think Georgia is too.
See, got Todd Myers there throwing out Jamie Chadwell. I said earlier, Chadwell has allegations from his time at Charleston Southern.
Yeah, he does.
So that's another guy. If you're throwing out people that have checkered past with NCAA violations and stuff like that, you got to throw Chadwell out. But
I'm not going with Chadwell. I'm going with somebody like Matt Campbell at Iowa State. Somebody like that has actually Power 5 experience, Malzahn freeze. Somebody like that. I'm tired of taking these flyers on these lower tier coaches and they get absolutely eat alive in the SEC.
And that was the one thing that I really liked about the Pruitt hire was that he played in the SEC. He's coached in the SEC. He's been in programs that have had a great deal of success, but it's just not translated with him being a head coach.
No, it's not going to transition. It's not. Unless he can get his hands out of the offense, put both hands in the defense, it's not going to transition for him at all. I think
we're going to transition and move forward, Cody. So last question, I don't think there's any question, but if you were in charge and you could make the decision tonight, would you fire Jeremy Pruitt or would you give him another year?
I'd completely clean the house. Fire everybody.
Fire them all and move on.
Yep.
I think you're probably right. I think I'm on board with that. Thanks for coming on, Cody. We appreciate it. Have a good night, buddy.
You too.
All right, I think that's going to wrap up the guest call-in portion of the show. The press conference is up. I said, if you guys want to watch it, we've been live almost 2 hours, which is an hour of overtime. If you guys want us to play the press conference, let us know. Put a 1 in the chat. Drop a super chat. Let us know you want us to stay live. Alan B says, I need the comedy stylings of Jerome at the press conference. Thank you. So here is my contribution. Here is my super chat for you guys to stay live for at least another 20 minutes and play the press conference. If you agree with Alan V Troll Patrol, put a 1 in the chat. Drop a super chat. That would count as about 50 ones. And maybe we will consider doing it. But we do have 350 something people watching live. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up. I'm falling asleep, man. It helps the channel. It throws out the algorithm to YouTube. It builds. It helps. All that stuff is good. John Robert, even though he was just on the show, he's like, here's another $5. I want the press conference. It's going to be a fun one. That's $10. $10 thrown our way, asking us to play the press conference. What do you think about that, JP?
I say we play it.
JP wants to go to bed. He's like, stop giving us money.
I say we play it. We got a lot of ones in here, so let's give these Talkin Vols fans what they want. Let's play it.
We've just made $15.30 over a press conference. Seahawk says, here's $5. Play it and play it now. Boogie, stop teasing me. Oddman 256 says, here's $2. Here's some cash for Dauber upgrading his internet. I think you probably need to throw that at JP. Although, JP, you're running smooth tonight. You running the old laptop or the new one?
The new one. I have no earthly idea what the difference is.
I'm not lagging tonight, am I?
Nobody's lagging. It's been a great show tonight. It's because all this money's coming in that everything's playing out perfectly fine. And here comes another $5 super chat. Dent Clinic for $5 says, here's a 1. Play the freaking press conference, Boogie. Stop begging for money. Just play it. Play it now. Do it now. There's 350 people waiting for you to play the press conference, and you're just patiently waiting for another super chat. Boogie, what kind of operation are you running? Jared says, here's a 1, but I don't have any money. All right, you guys have been awesome. Michael Parrish says, let me grab a beer for the show. All right, we'll wait. Michael, take your time. We'll wait on you. We'll be right here waiting. Take your time, Michael. Let me know when you get back, and we'll play the press conference. Anything you guys want to talk about while we wait on Michael to get back? No? Okay, we'll go ahead and play it. We'll go ahead and share it. We'll share the audio. We'll share the video. We'll get it posted up here. We'll let me get this banner off the bottom. Let's see. Does it look better like that? No, that does not look good. That looks terrible. Well, I guess we'll just go this way. All right, here we go. Jeremy Pruitt press conference. Let's cue it up and let's play it.
No, first, kind of tip your hat to Texas A&M. They got a good football team. You know, they were able to run the football. Were able to convert third downs. They kept us from making explosive plays. Eliminated really kind of our run game. They dominated the time of possession, which eliminated a lot of the opportunities for our guys. So, you know, it just kind of squeezed us out, and we just couldn't get off the field on third down and couldn't create enough momentum offense. We had negative plays on the 3 sacks that hurt us. So, you know, you just have to give them credit. They got a good football team, you know. I think when you look at this season, first thing is just really our administration and our medical staff just being able to have a season.
What? Do y'all not have jobs? I'm on vacation, Jim. I'm just hanging out with 354 of my closest friends. What are you even talking about, bro? Just hanging out with my
this for a living, Buggy.
Yeah, I'm paying my mortgage off of Super Chats. That's why I beg so much, because I'm about to lose my house. So please Super Chat. Let's hear more of Jeremy Pruitt's post-game press conference.
So I said it to the team in there, you know, coming back on June the 8th. And, you know, these guys, you know, we didn't know what we were getting into, but the courage that they had, just kind of the want to or the will to just kind of keep it on, you know, I thought says a whole lot about these guys. I think there was a lot of lessons for everybody to learn over this whole time, you know, so, but it's really kind of we really appreciate our fans for coming and supporting us. I know it means a lot to everybody involved in the organization. And it's been an unusual year, but for these guys, there's something that they can hold their head up about. You know, it looked like when this season started that we wasn't going to have college football. And when the momentum started, I think.
Good Lord, how I wish the season had just been canceled. Probably the biggest year ever for Talkin VAWLS. And we appreciate you guys showing up week in and week out. But good Lord, as a Tennessee fan, it's been an absolute disaster.
There's a lot about our players sticking with it, and everybody in the SEC really kind of keeping college football going. So, but I'll take any questions.
Wait, this has become a tradition here on Talkin VAWLS post-game show when we play the press conference. JP, what's the first question you would fire out of the gate?
Jeremy, how come we continue to struggle on third downs but not being able to get off the field?
Jeremy, when you start assessing this season, how would you assess you guys' results on the field after 10 games?
Oh,
well, we obviously went 3-7. That's not what we want to do. You know, it's hard to compare. You know, from one school to another school, the circumstances around this season. I know just talking to some of my peers, there's some weeks it's been like a normal year, and there's some weeks it hadn't been, you know. So it's one thing I think says a lot about the players is it's kind of stuck it through. You just kind of stuck with it, you know. Like a couple of weeks ago, we had a lot of guys that hadn't practiced in 2 weeks, but yet they want to.
Seahawk, I'll take you up on that. If Seahawk wants to pay $5 for us to shut it off, if you want us to keep it on, drop a $5 super chat. We'll just go into like just a straight up bidding war of what you guys want to do. It's your show. So place your bids now. If you want us to stay, drop a $5 super chat. Seahawk, if you want us off air, drop a $5 super chat. I'm a shill. I know it. Thank you.
Play, so things that they didn't have control over, they hung in there, and
well, guys, you've been put on blast. Seahawk says here's $5. I want you to stop playing the press conference. So I guess the ball's in your court. If you want us to keep playing the press conference, somebody better drop a $5 super chat. I don't even know what's happening right now, but this is fun. You guys are in a bidding war. Give me a $5. Give me a $4.99. Give me a $5. Give me a $5. Give me a $5. Give me a $5. We got a $5 super chat. $5 super chat. Stay alive. Stay alive. Stay alive. $5 super chat. Seahawk apparently wants us to go off air. Going once. Cody Brandt says, I don't have $5, but please keep it playing. Going
we need to
twice.
play it.
Hold on.
How many
Going
people's
twice?
in the live chat?
349. If you want us to stay live, drop a $1 or a $5 super chat. $5, give me $5, give me $5. Oh, here it is. John Robert Tolkien with $10 says, no. I need a reason to finish my drink. Thank you so much, John Robert. We are going to keep playing the press conference. Seahawk, I'm sorry. You have been outbid. Jonathan Santos says, here's $4.99. Keep it going, fellas. Here's ones coming in left and right. Seahawk, you're going to have to up your game. Here's Alan V. Troll Patrol with $20 and says, mic drop, don't go offline. Cody Brandt says, all I've got's $1, but here it is. Seahawk, you've been outbid. You have been blown out of the water. You better come up with about $50 if you want us to go off air. Thank you to the Talkin VAWLS faithful for showing up and showing out. Seahawk, that's my troll account. I have a second account that I use from my phone. All right, let's hear more. You guys are
gonna have
nuts.
people believing that, Boogie.
You guys are absolutely nuts. I love you guys.
Played hard all the way to the end. So when you look at, it's kind of like I'm talking to them, you're looking at what we need to do moving forward. You can kind of look at the team down there. I thought today, if you look at what Texas A&M did, they were able to run the football. They converted third downs. I think they were 10 for 14 on third down.
That's horrible.
A few explosive plays in there. When we created explosive plays offensively, we scored touchdowns. But as the game went, we didn't get as many explosive plays, and it was tougher for us to score. So just kind of looking at that team and just kind of comparing of what we got to do to get on their level, something we're talking about with the players after the game.
David Pascal and Blake Topmeyer.
Jeremy, why didn't Eric Gray play today?
He was unavailable.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Why?
Jeremy, there was a report that came out today that stated that your program's under investigation from the NCAA and internally on allegations of recruiting and impermissible benefits. Is that accurate? And what's your understanding of where that stands?
Well, I hadn't seen no article or anything like that, but anytime in college football or college athletics, you have typical compliance stuff, and that's all I know.
Great answer, Jeremy. Thank you, Ryan Rift, for becoming a member of the channel. We appreciate it. For just 99 cents, you too can have access to the custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. Ryan, we hope you will drop them in the chat right now. Let people know. Let them know you're a member. Drop those custom emojis. I also do want to take this time to say we have 354 people still watching 2 hours into this show. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's kind of a bonus show. We're just going to go all night long because you guys are dropping super chats. You're joining the channel. You're dropping your opinions. Look, we're all frustrated. We're going to go all night long. As long as you guys are here, we're going to keep streaming. Keep hitting that thumbs up. We have 365 thumbs up. So if you're in the chat and you have not done so yet, please hit that thumbs up. If you guys keep showing up and you guys keep hanging around, JP's going to get mad because we're going to be live until midnight. I may have to pause it again to go pee for the second time on a live stream and go fill my drink up again. But we will stay live as long as you guys want to stay live, because we're here for you, and you guys are awesome. Let's hear more.
Is your program continue to be interested in a bowl bid? Do you know where you stand on that? Has anything changed there?
I don't think that anything would change from our end. So we're preparing like we're going to be in a bow. If we're not, we're not. But that's the only way we know how to do it, just prepare to move forward like we were.
Yeah, Coach, on Eric Gray, was he out because of injury,
Nice headshot.
COVID issues? Why was he unavailable today?
The entire year, we've really, when it's come to our guys from injury to COVID or for whatever reasons, we've always said they're unavailable.
AKA, I don't want to answer your question. Joel saying, thank you so much for the $1 tip. We appreciate you throwing $1 into the tip jar. Thanks for the support. These are lame answers, man. But do you expect anything else? He knows what's going on within his program, Dauber. He knows why Eric Gray is out. He knows why Brian Maurer is out. But he's just going to play the safe game of whether it's COVID or injury. We just say they're unavailable.
I don't know if you know football.
I don't know if you've ever watched football before.
Coach, third game with JT
Gustavo
Sherratt and Harrison Bailey. Each one had a touchdown. How do you assess, this final game, those last 3 games with those 2 quarterbacks playing, in the field?
Well, Harrison does a lot of really good things. Okay. One thing that
if we get a $100 super chat, Dauber will shave his beard.
Don't go making promises you can't keep.
Me and JP will hold him down and shave it for him. John Robert Tolkertine again for $2. Thanks so much. Pruitt loves to dodge those questions. It's coach speak, and I kind of get it, but at the same time, it's like, oh man, it's just frustrating when you see the writing on the wall, but he continues to spit coach speak. Let's hear more. Dauber's not shaving his beard. Don't drop a $100 super chat unless you just love us and want to. You guys remember that night? Was it $100 super chats or 50? I think it was 50. We got 3 $50 super chats back to back to back because people were claiming to be the #1 fan of Talkin VAWLS. Could we challenge them tonight? If you think you're let's start another bidding war. If you think you're the #1 fan of Talkin VAWLS, drop the highest rated super chat. It won't happen, but that was a fun night that I'll never forget. Here's Big Dog, a Georgia fan. My second favorite Georgia fan behind Allen B. Big Dog, $4.99 says, here's $5 just because. Thank you. We appreciate that. And yeah, Dauber did say, not so fast, my friend. We're not doing that. If you guys want to start a bidding war for the #1 fan, you can. But if not, we'll go ahead and hear more from Gustavo, my good friend.
he's got to get past. He gets stuck a little bit sometimes in the throw game, just whether it's a progression read, it's a coverage read, whatever it is. There's a few times, and I think everybody sees he holds the ball a little bit, right? So just one of those things that he's got to get past, and the more reps he can get, the better he'll be at, whether it's throwing the ball.
I'll say this right now. You guys think I'm joking. I'm dead serious. Adam Lester, let's do something for vets. Y'all down? Tim Bradley could probably hook me up and let me know where to donate some money. If you guys want to show up and show out, you want to show people what Vol Nation is all about, every super chat from now until the end of the show, I'll donate to a veteran-based charity organization at Tim Bradley's request. Tim, put in the chat if you can hook us up and let us know a good, reliable charity for veterans. And if you have that, every super chat from this point on, I'll donate to veterans. I'm not even joking.
Looks like Adam Lester's got some kind of vets for Vols he's talking about there, Boogie.
Yeah, I saw that earlier, but I'm talking about a legitimate charity. Maybe he does have a legitimate charity. I don't know. I'm just saying. Here's Skid Row for $5. Thanks for having an awesome show. Thank you, Skid Row. I'm waiting to hear what Tim says in the chat. If I hear back from Tim, that's the thing is you guys can say Wounded Warriors. I don't really know what's reliable and what's not, but I will put my faith in Tim. And from this point moving forward, every super chat that comes into the show, I'll touch base with Tim and we'll donate it to charity. I'm sure you guys are down with that.
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
For sure.
Let's show them what Ball Nation's about. There's 342 people watching. Break out your wallets and let's give some money to our veterans because they give us the freedom to do what we do. So from this point forward, it's what time is it? 5:19. Any super chat that comes through, I'm going to talk to Tim. We're going to donate it to veterans charity. Everybody's saying Wounded Warrior. If that's, I'll check with Tim because I trust him.
All away, whether it's taking a check down, just one of those things. And I thought JT probably the same thing.
Joe Rexroad and Nick Hill. Jeremy, trying this in a different way. Was Gray or anyone else absent today because of a compliance issue?
Say it again.
Gray's absence or anyone else's absence today, was it related to a compliance issue?
Guys, I've already addressed that one time.
AKA, I'm not going to answer. There's $5 going out to veterans right there. $5 that we will donate to veterans charity. Thank you so much, Seahawk. We appreciate it.
Hey, hear me now? All right. So, Texas A&M had around 82 plays. You guys had around 31. Just what do you think was the main factor in causing that imbalance between the two teams? Do you think it was more your defense struggling to get them off the field on third down, or was it more about your team not being able to run and sustain drives?
Yeah, I think it's probably all the above. We're 1 for 6 on third.
There's another $5 from Kevin Bear. That's $10 going to our veterans. You guys are awesome. I don't know if I'll say it on there. My little stepbrother was a veteran, and he fought overseas, and he came back, and he killed himself. And that was an eye-opening experience for what our veterans go through and how hard it is for them to transition back to real life when they get back. So you guys, what you guys are doing right now, it means a lot to me. Not like this is not a show. This is 100%. This money's going to our veterans. Zach Tilley says, here's $5 for the veterans. Here's Skid Row. Here's $20 for my brothers and sisters like me who wore the uniform. Thank you so much for your service, Skid Row, and for that donation. John Roberts says, here's $2 for our veterans. I'm not going to say his name, but he says, here's $5. While you guys are rolling it in, this is awesome. You guys are throwing money at us. I'm going to say this. The Talkin VAWLS family, Dauber and JP don't even know I'm going to say this, but I'm going to say it. We're going to match whatever you guys donate. So whatever you guys donate, we're going to take out of our super chats tonight, and we're going to match it. So right now it looks like we've got, what do we got? We got 5, 10, 15, 35, 40, $42. $42. We're going to match it with our money. Keep dropping super chats, and we are going to donate to a charity through Tim Bradley. We're gonna talk to him, and we're gonna see what he says, and we're gonna donate it. And Chris Wu says, "Wow, Boogie, thanks for sharing with us. God bless you and your family, and all the vets who come home with both physical and emotional wounds." Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. Derek Rogers, $10. Thanks for your service. Go Vols 2005, another $5 super chat. Thank you all. Again, all these super chats are going to go to a charity. I'm going to talk to Tim as soon as we go offline. I'm going to figure out where we can donate this money. We're going to match it. Whatever you guys donate, we'll match it. And we appreciate the support for our veterans and for this show. You guys are awesome. We appreciate it. Oh, man, $2 super chat. Go Vets. You guys are awesome. We appreciate it. Let's hear more from Jeremy Pruitt.
Third down, they're 10 for 14. They were able to run the football. We were not. So anytime you can extend drives. I mean, just the first third down of the game, right? It's 3rd and 10, we jump offside. Just 3rd and 5, they convert it. It's another time in the game, they bolt the back. We don't peel the back, get a 3rd down. I mean, they got a really good football team with an experienced quarterback, so they're going to make some plays, right? It's the one thing that we have to do, and we've done this too many times. is we can't beat ourselves. We got to make the other team beat us. You know, being 1 for 6 on third down and not establishing the run, you know, is not good. But you look at it, you know, we created an explosive play, and then we take a shot down the sideline. All right. You know, for whatever reason, they don't call pass interference. So it goes back to 2nd and 10, right? So you want to get half of it back. You're going to throw an RPO, and we throw a
Carlos with a $5 super chat says thank you for the service. Fallout coming right behind him with a $4.99 super chat. No comment. It's just going straight to our veterans. And I saw that somebody in the chat says, really, this is a positive note. I don't know if you really understand what we're doing. We said all super chats moving forward to the end of the show are going to a charity for our veterans. And the Talkin VAWLS.
I think they were talking about Pruitt's comment.
Yeah, I don't think they really understood what Kevin was saying there. All the super chats coming through for the rest of the show are going to our veterans, and the Talkin VAWLS family is going to match it. So whatever you guys donate, we're going to match it 100%, and we're gonna donate it to. We're going to talk to Tim. We're going to figure out where it needs to go. Tim Bradley for $4.99 says thanks for this, man. It means a lot. It's the least that we can do. You guys have shown up and shown out all night long, and I don't know really how it kind of transitioned to that. I really don't even remember how this happened, but it's awesome, and I love that you guys are showing out for our military, and we're going to match it. So thank you guys for that.
bubble for a 7-yard loss. Excuse me.
COVID cough.
I mean, now it's 3rd and 17. It's hard to convert 3rd and 17s, right? You know, or we create a big play offensively by being aggressive and throwing the ball down the field. We're going to do it again, and then we sit there and we take a sack fumble by holding the ball, you know, or take another sack. That happened 3 times where we created some explosive plays, but then we sat there and kind of shot ourselves in the foot, so to speak. You know, I mean, not really making them have to defend us on some stuff. You know, if you're going to be aggressive, sometimes it's not there, right? Just take the ball, check it down, throw it away. We'll play 2nd and 10.
Ben McKee.
Rye Rift with a $5 super chat says, my housemate was a 101st Airborne Sniper. His stories are insane. God bless him and all the veterans. Yeah, I agree, man. Like what they do for us is, I don't think a lot of people comprehend it until you're connected to it. Once you're connected to it, I think you realize it. Seahawk for $10. Money well spent. Thanks everyone for your service. It's amazing how many people in this chat have served for this country. So it's the least we can do. We're glad that you guys are showing support for them, and we will, like I said, we'll match it.
Coach, A&M had a lot of success with their backs out of the backfield. Seemed like they were wide open fairly often. What was the issue there?
Well, there was a couple of times that you know, our linebacker had the back out of the backfield. You know, in our defense, we have mechanisms that can get you out of issues, so to speak. So if we're bringing a pressure and a linebacker's got a back and the back's really chowed out or fixing to get out, you know, we have butch calls, we have spear calls to execute it, right? You know, now that sounds good setting up here, but it's something that the more experience you get, you're able to apply these things, right? And we didn't do that a couple of times. You know, one time the back was in there, and then he comes out late. We got a safety that's got the back. He thinks the back's blocking. He didn't close to him. He's going to cut on another wide receiver because he thinks the back's in protection, and the back gets out on 3rd down. They give him the ball and outrun us, right? So a couple of things like that. You know, these guys have always been a team that gets the back out really fast, especially into the boundary, and we had some ways to pill them. And when we did it the right way, we were fine.
A few more. David Pascal and then David Oven.
Jeremy, can you talk about DeAndre?
Chris Wu with a $1.99 super chat says, best group therapy for fans. Thank you, vets. Thanks, Chris, for the super chat and the support of our military. We appreciate it.
Ray Johnson, that hands to the face before halftime in a 17-13 game.
Yeah, you know, I didn't see it. You know, you got them in 3rd and 14 or whatever, and you know they convert there on a penalty. I mean, you obviously can't hit the quarterback late. I didn't see it, so I mean, I don't know. You can't do it right.
And then
he's so done. Chase with a $20 super chat says, "For my brothers and sisters." Thanks for this, folks. Thank you, Chase. Thank you. We appreciate that.
do you feel confident that you'll be the coach moving forward? I
Oh,
know there
Lord.
have been 3 changes already in a year where people didn't think there would be any. So it's hard to take anything for granted, but do you feel confident you'll be the coach moving forward?
Yeah, I think absolutely. If you look over the first 2 years we were here, right? Where we at when we got here? I've said it before, from personnel, culture, what we're building. Okay. And I get it. 3 and 7 is not where we want to be, right?
No.
But there's one thing that I can say. I can lay my head down on my pillow every night and know that I've done everything that I could possibly do to make sure that we protected everybody in our program. We're looking for a competitive edge. There's lots of things that we didn't know about. If we were going to have a COVID season again, I probably would be a little more prepared to handle it, So, but I get the business. I understand it. I look at our football team. We've got a lot of really young players on our team. Most of our team will be back. I think it's a very good indication of how they compete every week. These guys don't quit. They believe in what we're doing, and they understand that we're not that far away, So a lot of these guys, I think they choose to try to be part of the solution, not the problem. If you look at our team last year, we won, I guess, 7 out of our last 8 games. We barely won most of those games, with the exception of USC.
It could have been way worse, guys. It could have been way worse. Like, oh, Lord have mercy. What kind of statement was that?
Hey, we are playing on SEC championship Saturday, though.
Yeah, we made it.
Yeah.
We made it.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I'm done. I don't think I want to hear any more of him. Good Lord have mercy. What a stupid comment to make. We almost lost all those games in that winning streak. We almost lost them. You guys realize that? We're way over 2 hours. I think we're going to wrap this thing up. I just want to say we appreciate your support. I don't know what happened with the whole thing for our veterans, but that is amazing. You guys are awesome.
Oh.
I'm gonna go into our analytics here and get the super chats and tally that up. We're gonna match it all, and then Tim, I know you're still in the chat. I'll send you a message on Facebook, and we'll figure out where I need to send that money and what the best organization is to do that. But that's it. That's going to wrap this thing up. We appreciate you guys for joining us. Don't forget, Dauber and JP are going to go live Monday night for basketball. The Indy Kid is going to be dropping the day after tomorrow, so make sure you are subscribed and tune in for that. Also, if this team does for some stupid reason get a bowl game, we are going to be covering it. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Click that bell for notifications so you always know when we're going live. If you haven't done so yet, hit that thumbs up. And as much as it's a game and a gimmick, I hope you guys see a little bit of real life tonight. Any of you that are still left here with us. This isn't about making a bunch of money. The super chats are nice. The merchandise sales are nice. But there's so many way more important things than college football and making a few bucks off of super chats. I hope you guys realize everything we said tonight was authentic. But again, for Vols JP, for Dauber, my name is Boogie Bentley. The last thing I have to say to you is go Big Orange.